Hello everyone, Shadefire here, and welcome back to the Fallout 76 beta. This is the second beta date, second and final. So I thought we'd get back in here, do a little bit more exploring. So I played a bit more until the beta ended yesterday, and I played a bit of it at the start of the beta today because they extended it since apparently there was a bug affecting some people where the launcher just deleted all 46 gigs of the beta, which meant a lot of people didn't get to play it because that's a lot to download for some people, including me. If that had happened, I would not have played it. But currently, I'm outside of this area where that place is full of super mutants. It's also got a workshop. We're not going to go back in there. I died a couple times in there. Death in this game is not really a big deal, since you can respawn basically anywhere on the map, but it works like fast travel, so if you respawn at the place where you died, it won't cost very much or anything, whereas if you respawn on the other side of the map, it'll cost you caps. You can also respawn at your camp, and you can see I finally got enough to build a bench, so now I can scrap stuff that I'm carrying instead of having to find one, and I can just deploy that anywhere. So I don't know what's going to happen if I redeploy this camp, if it will just try to place this where it is now, or if it'll just pack it up and you have to replace it. I'm assuming it's just going to pack it up and replace it. But one thing I realized is how to scroll the map, which yesterday I did not know how to do. Or not yesterday, I guess that was 2 days ago. So this is the full map, and you can see kind of the different biomes are marked. A lot of people are still down south. It seems like most people went south of Vault 76. But yeah, this has kind of been my experience for all the time I've played for the kind of number of players. So if that's how the final game turns out, I'm quite happy with that, if there's only like 20 or 30 people in a server. Because it's a fairly large map. I wonder what that bird is out there. You can probably get there. It seems like any of these icons in the map are places. Also, I didn't realize last time, but I guess this is the only Fallout that has a proper map instead of just one on your Pip-Boy. Alright, so right now I am here. I was trying to get up here to this water park, but I was running into some nasty level 15 anglers around this water area, so I gave up on trying to break through there and decided I would go a little more east. And apparently I have hit the Savage Divide, which I think is this plateau kind of area behind these mountains. I think that's a separate zone, so I'm thinking we're going to go over there for this part, so we'll actually see a different kind of biome than just the forest and slightly swampy area. Haven't really done too much with my guns. Still using this hunting rifle. I keep finding little minor upgrades to it. I've got the shotgun repaired, but it seems to break very quickly, so it's not that reliable. Now we got some scorched up here. I find it funny that in my last video, at one point I was like, so are there no regular ghouls in this game? Having apparently forgotten that I had encountered them, like, before anything else. Shotgun's pretty good. I mean, I think it's the only weapon I have so far that actually has a level requirement that I can use, so explains why it's better than the default stuff. All the other stuff I've been picking up requires level 10, like a sledgehammer, automatic rifle, stuff like that. Power box will provide more power if it's repaired. So I don't know how any of this stuff works. I think this is another, like, workshop thing. Like, maybe this provides power to nearby workshops or something. See, the human enemies that are higher well, humanoid enemies that are higher level than you don't seem to be that tough. Even though, you know, it was, like, 7 levels higher than me here. Take that. Raider leg. And strengthened painted metal left arm, which is level 10. Should probably try putting on some of this armor I'm carrying. I'm still wearing this leather shit we got in the last video. Oh, I'm not even sure what needs to be repaired here. Or is that saying Poseidon Energy, like there's a main station somewhere that this is connected to? Because this just seems like a... I don't even remember what these are called. Substation, I guess. Aside from the power box, there doesn't really seem to be anything here. Also, if we look at the map again... I'm trying to pull up the Pip-Boy to look at the map. If you look at the map, these hexagons down here, these are essentially just, like, events, which are pretty much public quests that are completed by a group. So, you know, you go into the area and complete whatever the objectives are, and when the quest completes, anyone who is in the area will get quest rewards. And those are also seemingly how the bosses work, because I actually killed one of the bosses about 20 minutes after I finished the last video. It was the Galveston Beast, which, when I encountered it, there was no players around, and it was at half health, being shot up by super mutants who were standing on rooftops. So I don't know if somebody triggered the event and then ran away, and then the super mutants just started chewing it up, but I just finished it off and got the quest rewards for it. Oh. That's why I was pulling up my Pip-Boy, because I need to fill out my meters. Water is seeming to be the big thing to give you trouble. I mean, pretty much you just need to collect a lot of dirty water and then start purifying it. I did find a blueprint for a purifier, so I should be able to use that in my camp to just make better water. But radiation has also been the other thing that's a big problem. Because I haven't found a whole lot of Radaway yet. Did I level up? No. Okay, so I was right what I guessed yesterday. I hadn't tested this yet, but you can see it now cost me 6 caps to move my camp because I built something in it. So this star over here should be a military base, which is maybe not a good idea for me to go to yet, but it depends. Well, that looks like a pretty tiny military base unless it's underground. Oh, Site Bravo. That was one of the nuclear silos that the Overseer mentions in that first holotape. Or, I guess it wasn't the Overseer, it was when we read her computer. Grab some wood. Provide water. Paint. Oh yeah, there's the elevator that leads down. So I probably don't need to be here yet. Oh, there's another Overseer cache. I guess that's kind of the primary quest that you start with. You'll probably just be following her from place to place. I didn't actually go to the first place she was at, but I found one of these caches already in Galveston, so I assume that you'll be following her a bunch. A lot of outfits in here. Ooh, actually, I'll take that too, because I need the silver. Aluminum can. And this does have the resource marking that Fallout 4 had, which I should have used last time when I was trying to find aluminum, but for some reason I didn't. Where if you're missing a material for crafting, you can set it to marked, and then anything that has that material will just have a little magnifying glass next to it when you look at it. So you don't have to, like, pick it up and see what it breaks down into to know what it is. So it seems like outfits don't have any kind of stat changes attached to them, which makes sense because there aren't any stats. So you can just pretty much wear whatever you like the look of. We'll go with military fatigues for now. Still wearing that helmet. Also, I'm out of stim packs right now, which kind of blows. Alright, what do we got in here? Water, that's always good. Overseer's log.
Overseer's log. Missile Silo Bravo. The security systems are still operational, just like at Site Alpha. My guess is that Site Charlie will be the same story. But I need to be sure.
Authorization.
Still have no idea how I'm going to get the military credentials to gain access.
Okay, so
I fear is that some other group of survivors tried to figure this out as well. We'll just have to keep looking.
That's how they keep me from getting to later content in the plot. I really hope that at some point there's a good explanation for why there are no people, though, because, like, I've encountered dead Brotherhood of Steel in that super mutant factory. I've encountered those dead settlers. It seems like there has to have been some kind of weaponized virus or something that was released that killed everybody, because otherwise it just seems really weird that it's like, oh no, it's just too dangerous and everybody died. It seems unlikely. It also doesn't really make sense for there to be Brotherhood of Steel yet. They would still be hiding in their bunker. In California. But again, it's Fallout, so you gotta have the Brotherhood of Steel, you gotta have super mutants. Forget the canon, let's just jam whatever we want in here. Because we don't care about the canon. There is no Fallout lore master at Bethesda. I wonder if Star Wars still has a lore master now that they don't give a shit about any of the extended universe. Or if he got fired as soon as Disney bought up all the rights. Like, your job is irrelevant now, we're just gonna make whatever we want. Alright, well, we're heading up into the mountains, so it should be a bit more sparse up here. Possibly also more dangerous. It's funny that I didn't encounter any really new kind of creatures in the whole hour and a half of the last video, because I encountered a bunch, like, right afterwards. Ooh. So these are new, but they're pretty much what you expect. They just give you the ore of whatever resource, and then you can turn it into more of the resource. However, it doesn't make any sense for there to be a fucking aluminum deposit, right? Because aluminum is a composite. But hey, it's just a video game. Aluminum ore. Next we'll find some bronze ore. Oh, there's a fox. This fox is just gonna climb over the wall. There we go. We didn't really get a lot of glitches in the last video. Whoa! They both disappear. You just like, this is my teleportation pose, human, and then he was gone. Okay, that was great. That's a great start. I say great start, it's already probably been like 10 minutes. I'm gonna try to stay under an hour this time, because for one, it takes less time for me to edit, and for two, I know people don't like long videos for the most part. I don't think these things actually do anything except explode and release radiation. Like, it says search when you go up to them, but I don't think you get anything out of it. Well, it's definitely rockier up here. It's actually looking a bit more like Fallout 3. I mean, there's a lot more trees, but that's just a technology limitation. Okay. Is that a ghoul? Nope, it's a believer. Ow. Why did she just have Ow. Stop. I was gonna say, why did she just have bullets? Oh, that was a shotgun, that's why it was hurting. Or, it wasn't hurting, but it sounded like it should have hurt. It was loud. One thing I've noticed is enemies don't seem to show up on the compass at all anymore, no matter... Well, I was gonna say no matter what your perception is, but I guess my perception is like 2, so that might be why. I don't actually know what stat it is that lets you get gunsmithing perks, but I kind of need those to build mods, and I can't remember which tree it was in Fallout 4, which special perk it was for regular guns. I remember energy weapons is science, obviously. Or not science, but intelligence. But I'm not sure what, like, repair and crafting is. Bookcase plan. Take that. Kind of like ESO, it seems that one of the best things to find in loot in this is just blueprints. Since I think you can only really learn stuff from either quests or by finding them. Because we got a blueprint when I picked up that Overseer's log, so it looked like there was a quest one attached there. Let's see. Miscellaneous. No. Notes? No, not notes. It's nice that they have more categories for items here, because I think people were saying initially that they didn't have this, and everything was just jammed together. But it is weird that food and healing are still in the same tab, considering you also have to worry about how filling the food is now, and not just how much health it gives you back. Also, you notice most of the food has a disease chance, but I haven't gotten a disease from eating yet. I was looking for these blueprints. I don't remember what tab they show up in. Oh, I said Galveston, but I meant the Beast of Grafton. That was the big boss I fought. Okay, they are actually in here. I still have those treasure maps. And you know what? I think that water filter is actually not a filtration machine. It's literally just a filter to make filtered water, which is how you get purified water instead of just boiled water. Okay, that one I already learned. I do have a treasure map for the Savage Divide. Okay. A dock somewhere. There's a treasure in a swamp. Or in a puddle. Alright, is there a switch here for me to turn on? Ooh. That's a nice shotgun. Better than mine, but I think I'll just break it down and then build the mod myself, because that's pretty much how you get most of the mods, is just by breaking down guns. So I've been doing that just to see what they give me. Because most of the ones you find are going to be in worse condition than the ones you're carrying. Alright, I guess we'll just keep heading east towards this, like, blackish area. There's a train station or something up ahead. I'm actually surprised, though, how much I was looking forward to getting back into this. Oh, it's that same pair of dastardly foxes. I almost want to follow them just to see what trouble they get into. They actually look good, though, scrawny kind of design. I don't think Fallout 4 had foxes. They did have rad stags, which I've seen a few of. Though one thing that kind of bothers me is that they seem to have just reused all of the Fallout 4 enemies, including the ones from Far Harbor, which seem to make a lot less sense to show up here, considering we're not really near the coast. Like, there's giant newts, which I actually don't remember if those are from Fallout 4 or if those were not in Far Harbor. Got a Pulowski Preservation Shelter.
Pulowski, nuclear protection on a budget.
Haven't seen those since Fallout 3. Excuse me, skeletons. Also, since I know someone's going to want me to mention it, we should talk about the microtransactions, because there are microtransactions in here, which they've mentioned, but at least they're not, hey, we're just selling you something that you would get anyway, which is mods. But if we pull up the menu here, which also, stupid thing, you can't just hit escape. Escape just brings up the menu. You have to hit escape and then Z to bring up the actual menu. why couldn't escape just be the menu? But the atomic shop is the cosmetics, as well as things you can build in your camp. Though I think these are just styles. Like, this small generator is just one without all the rust on it. It's not actually any different. But, you know, tattoos, face paint, emotes, skin for your Pip-Boy. And you can see that they cost this atoms, but you actually get those in-game as well, which is the one reason why I'm like, okay, this is not that bad. So you can see I have 450, and the way you get atoms is by doing challenges, which I don't remember how to bring that up. Is it in here? Yeah, challenges. So all these challenges, you know, kill feral ghouls, pick somebody up, and these are the daily ones, the weekly one. The weekly ones. So these are all things that will give you some of this currency, so, you know, that's a good thing that it's not just like, hey, you want some of this cosmetic stuff, you better fucking buy it. You can actually unlock some of it in-game, but there aren't that many challenges, so I think once you've done all these, you're pretty much, hey, you want more, you're gonna have to buy it, or just grind dailies. But since that stuff's all cosmetic, I'm not too fussed about it. I'm somebody who usually buys cosmetic DLC for stuff, so I'm that guy. That is the death of the game industry. But I thought I'd mention it for those who are interested, offended, etc. by its existence. Not really surprising though, considering it's a multiplayer game. Like, I would be more bothered about that if they tried to jam those into Fallout 5. If they tried to launch the game with a mod shop or whatever.
Vendor not responsible for your safety or the safety.
There's a lot of shit in here. Oh, this is my stash. That's why there's a lot of shit in here. This is all the stuff for my camp. So, all my junk in here. Toss these mines in here. I usually don't use mines in Fallout. I end up just selling them usually. I should not have put that sledgehammer away because it was doing something interesting. I want to be able to use this revolver. I think this is what I got from the boss quest.
At a hard day.
It seems that most of these vendor bots always have a stash box next to them.
To haul it back yourself. Sell it here.
Got one of these assault gas masks. That actually does do something. It reduces your perception, but it protects you from damage and disease from airborne hazards, so that bit actually has an effect.
This vendor unit is equipped with anti-theft measures. Don't get any ideas, chump.
I'm not actually sure what I should be selling to make money yet. I guess probably mods and weapons. The pickaxe. Plan 44. What?
Stock up here
Is that
before your next
44 caliber ammo?
kill.
Harness, road leathers, rug. Again, this stuff is very expensive just to be able to make posters. Robot armor pneumatic torso mod.
Stick up. Just kidding.
The radium rifle, the one that shoots radiation. T-45 rusty knuckles. Is that some kind of unarmed weapon made out of T-45 armor? I haven't seen any power armor stuff aside from power armor stations.
Mostly blood free.
Like Fallout 4, you can find power armor just kind of sitting around, or power armor frames. So I haven't seen any of that yet, but I know it's in here. I saw somebody talking about it. I could have looked it up, but I'd rather just find it myself. You know, that was one of the things I actually really enjoyed Fallout 4, was just wandering around and stumbling upon a new set of power armor that I didn't already have. Like finding the Enclave power armor in a train. I thought that was cool. What I don't know is if the power armor in this game also requires the fusion cores, because I haven't seen any of those yet either. I imagine they're probably a lot more limited if you do have them in here, just to keep you from running around in power armor all the time. Because again, that would be fun, and they don't want you to have too much fun without having to pay for it. And I got another enclave of these scorched people. I'm not sure exactly what these are supposed to be. I mean, they've got like crystals jammed into them. Gotta watch out for those Molotovs, because they do a lot of damage. And finally found some 45 armor. Ultrasight laser refined beta wave. Okay, I don't get to read what the rest of that is. Except... oh, some binoculars, those will come in handy. I don't know where this swarm of rats came from. Now, there are people shooting me in the back that I should be concerned about. Oh, there's a full-size rad rat. I guess... have there been any regular giant rats in Fallout since Fallout 1 and 2? I feel like there haven't been, which kind of seems odd now. There's mole rats, obviously. But also no pig rats or... were they bear rats? I forget what the really big ones were called. Sounds like someone else is getting shot. Oh, that's a super mutant. It's a skirmisher, so they actually are somewhat dangerous. They do a decent amount of damage. I do have a grenade. Which I threw a little too far. I was hoping that they would just run over here. Ooh, skiing outfit to go with my skiing hat. But I guess they're just gonna wait. What I really need to do is increase the rate of fire on this hunting rifle. Kind of wishing that there was a lean. Nope. This guy's still going. This is the guy I was waiting for. With the shotgun. I don't know why he won't come over here. Oh. So this is what happens when you die. You go down and someone could presumably pick you up, but if there's no one around, then you just give up and you have to respawn. And you lose all of your junk, which goes into a bag on the ground that other people can steal. If there was anyone around to steal it. Okay, well, we're gonna respawn here anyway. And hope that I can get in there and get my stuff without getting shot up too much. It's kind of a problem when there's no stim packs right now. And enemies don't seem to stay where they are. I think that's if no one's around, they will kind of like reset. Because I'll go over to my body and then there'll be like no one there for some reason. This guy's here, so it might not have reset. Alright, there was still one more. up above. Enemies don't respawn, like, instantly, though, if you die. Okay, that was the only thing I had on me. Bowie knife. Bobby pins. They don't have a lot of them, but super mutants seem to be a good source of caps because they always drop a few. Which hasn't been the case for many other enemies.
I wanted a fight.
And it doesn't really say it when you pick it up, but a lot of these hunting rifles and stuff will have mods on them, so even if you don't think that it's something you already have, you should take it anyway and break it down. Alright, I guess I might as well loot this place now that it's mostly clear. Okay, this is another base, because you can hear that workshop beeping sound. So there's not much point in me clearing this out for the workshop, since it's a PvP thing. I also haven't gotten any perk cards that will let me increase my lockpick. I've only found limited use magazines, so can't really lockpick anything difficult until I figure out what gives me that. Raider corpse, so again, signs that there were people here before they all mysteriously Ooh, take that clown hat. Oh, there's a bunch of them coming from upstairs. I'm not gonna stick around. Come back and loot this when I have some stim packs. Alright. So let's see. Still want to go east. Ooh. It's looking a bit rad stormy out here. Also, I gotta eat again. Unfortunately, I can't just go indoors and sleep like you would in Fallout 4. Do I have any purified water? I think I picked up a little bit, right? Oh, I have 20. So water won't be a problem for a while. I suppose I might as well pop some Rad-X if I'm going to be out here in the storm. Oh, that actually completely stopped my radiation gain, instead of just reducing it to a minimum of 1. Oh yeah, there we go. Can I survive that jump? I can't survive that one. So I guess I'm starting to come back down out of the divide and into whatever this swampy area is down there. I assume it's swampy. It could just be burnt. Or it could be heavily radioactive and this is not a storm, but just the normal for this area. It's quite a drop. Also, what the fuck is that? Is that the edge of the map? No, apparently not. That's actually like a storm front or something. I bet it's probably unpleasant on the other side of that barrier. Yeah, it's like a lot of smoke. Ooh, these are some steep drops. Of course, nothing that a little bit of sliding against the walls can't fix. I had a mutation that activated earlier, which it seems like you just get mutations from having radiation on you for a while without reducing it. That made me into a marsupial, where I could jump a lot higher, but my intelligence had a penalty of 4. And then when I used it right away, it got rid of my mutation. Which apparently is not a guarantee. It's only a chance of getting rid of your mutation, so sometimes you might be stuck with a shitty one for a while. Alright, I want to see what this train or whatever is. Forgot that I level up. I tend to do that. I'll just be like in the middle of something and completely forget to use my level up. So, I can't remember which tree it is for building. Because none of these say, like, affects your ability to craft things. It just says crafting good with intelligence. I'll try putting a point in intelligence. Stim pack, restore more health. Rat away removes war radiation. I go with first aid, I guess. So sometimes you'll get cards that you already have, at which point you can combine them to make a level 2 version of that card. And then presumably a level 3 with 2 level 2s. And that's how you upgrade them to better versions of the perk, but they also use more points when you upgrade them, so you still can't just put more in the slot. Oh, okay, this is just an RV, not a train. Ammo dump, you say? That sounds like a good thing to find. Except for when it starts dumping the ammo on you. I will definitely take that circuit board. Get some good scrapping out of that. More dirty water. I find it weird that you find dirty water in first aid boxes, because you did that in Fallout 4 as well, and I'm like, why is this in here? Man, those sentries do not do well when you get close to them. Ooh. Frag grenades. Pipe rifle. Caps. More grenades. Wood left arm, not even gonna pick that up. Oop. Oh, it's just the turret. Well, I'm not seeing a whole lot of ammunition being dumped here. And a power armor frame. Scrap the stuff I'm carrying. Probably can't hack this, right? Yeah, needs at least 1 point. Fusion cells. The only laser weapon I've found so far is a laser pistol. But I'm sure you can find plasma rifles and stuff eventually to put those fusion cells in. Yeah, I don't know. It really doesn't seem like a lot of ammo here. I mean, there's probably some in that safe, but otherwise... Alright, so where are we now? There's like a stable or something there. Guess we'll pass through there and keep heading east. There's more of these scorched. I think they're probably the enemy I've fought the most of so far. Sons of Dane. But maybe whatever turned them into scorched is what killed everyone. There actually... There's only one here. The rest all seem to have been petrified. These guys are very similar to the... I can't remember what they were called, but they were the main humanoid enemy in one of the New Vegas DLCs. Lonesome Road. And they were basically just NCR and Legion soldiers that had been in close proximity to the nukes, so they ended up with flayed skin. where they turned into ghouls, basically, and then all their skin came off in these storms of the Divide. So they were just, like, flesh-colored. Or, I guess, fleshless-colored. Nuka-Cola, buff out. Skill 2. Again, I'm not gonna spend too long looting these individual places since I can come back later. And I just want to kind of see more stuff in this video. Sweet blackberry tea, don't have that. I hear more beeping, so there might be another workshop here. In which case, there are a shit ton of workshops. Probably more than can actually be practically used by the number of players. Chemistry station, and another chemistry station. I can make boiled water here. Yeah, I see, you need water filters. So that's just individual filters, it's not a filtration machine. But still, boiled water gives you less radiation than regular water. Okay, there's a fusion core, which needs a bunch of pure bullshit, so I think that's probably mostly stuff you get from going into the nuke detonation zones, which are an event that can happen. Fertilizer, well, I don't need that since I'm not growing any crops right now. Oh, there's probably some nice stuff in there. Some kind of rifle on there, but it looks like it's clipping through the shelf, so I can't tell what it is. I just see the stock. Yeah, I really gotta figure out what skills I need to unlock lockpicking, because I'm missing out on a lot of good loot. Okay, now this is the workbench. Can hear it over here somewhere. Scorched Believer, level 14. That's not good. Wow. See? Level 14, but still only took 2 hits. Oh, I'm so dead now. I didn't pick up any stim packs yet. So one good bullet is going to take me down. Which is why I'm going to run away. Actually, I think my health is too low to run. Nope. Yeah, so when you call for help, I think it just plays this little, like, emote, and then anyone who is nearby who looks in this direction will just see that pop up. Alright, so we're gonna spawn back here. So there's really not a lot of penalty for dying. Some of this stuff looks really good, but as some people pointed out, this game is lacking a lot of visual options right now that it really shouldn't be. Like, you can't adjust the bloom at all, you can't turn it off. So the depth of field is very aggressive. Speaking of aggressive, can you not do that? Oh, I couldn't sprint because I'm overburdened. Okay, I didn't know you could do that. Alright, got all my stuff. Let's get out of here. It's weird, though, that, like, she was obviously hitting me with a knife, but then when I searched her, she just had knuckles. So you can't always just take the gun that they're shooting you with. Sometimes it'll be a different gun. Alright, let's get out of here. I'm almost at whatever this area is, so let's keep pressing forward. Sometimes I will do kind of that when I am playing a Fallout game. I'll just well, I guess a Bethesda game. I'll go around just hitting up map markers to add them to the map, and then fast travel later to actually search them. Sometimes I just want to fill out my map without stopping at every place I see. You can hear that workbench from really far away. I should drop my camp down so I can get rid of some of this weight. Oh. Blood bugs. See, those make sense to still be in this, since they're just big fucking mosquitoes. I think that's the first time we've ever seen a dirt bike in the Fallout style, so that's a new model. Ooh. Snub-nosed pistol with a scope. A stim pack. Some boiled water. Good stuff to find. Shotgun shells. A festering bloatfly. I haven't seen one of those. Salisbury steak. I don't know where that... Oh, there it is. Jammed into the wall. I also don't know why it's carrying a spring. Portable fuel tank. Volatile materials box. Cooking pot. I guess I should take all this stuff since I'm gonna camp in a second. Baseball grenade. Yeah, so it's just someone's little campsite. Tick. Gross. Another thing I can't do anything with. Alright, so let's get a little bit away from the place here. Pop down my camp. No, it has to be outside of location. Probably also needs to be on flat ground. Nope, guess not. So, it looks like I was right in that it just goes into your stored stuff. Alright, so let's... Actually, I didn't mean to modify, I meant to break down. Scrap items. So, scrap one of these. Yeah, see, I learned how to make stealth blade. Leather left leg. Pipe rifle. Okay, this is the one I found, so let's break that down. Learn how to make its parts. I can't believe that a fucking spear is a level 15 thing. Like, no, that's too advanced. I don't think I can actually make anything yet until I get, like, gunsmithing. But yeah, like, I can't even put barbed wire onto my baseball bat until I get Makeshift Warrior rank 2. can put the stock on it, but I don't have gunsmith rank 3. You need to be an advanced gunsmith to put a stock on a gun. So I don't think I can do anything here. Alright, we are almost there. So no stopping now until we reach the black zone. I heard something hoofing around. Oop. What I heard is some nasty mole rats. Don't know why they both have gunpowder. Didn't I pick up a stim pack? Oh no, I must have used it. Yep, just take that meat from those rabid roll mats. Mole rats. I'm sure that's not gonna have any adverse health effects. Alright. Seems to be a like kind of red foresty area down here. Oh, there's a nuclear power plant ahead. Maybe that'll explain for this weird like scorched look it has. There's a radstag over there. There's a bunch of radstags. I think the buck is probably going to try to fight me. They usually do. And those trees do not look great from this distance until they pop into their full form. Alright, I think we are getting into some proper kind of swampy ground now. Ah, ghouls. Lots of ghouls. Oh boy, I got stuck. I don't want to die until the mire. Boy, I've got quite the crowd behind me. Okay, I think I got them all. It's quite the welcoming party. That was cool, though. Getting chased by a bunch of feral ghouls. So this is a place that's not a great place to be. This tree covered in electrical cables? Oh, there's some kind of vines. They're just a weird orange color. Alright. So I assume there's going to be some nasty, poisonous enemies here. And maybe some alligators on legs. Dolly Sod's Lookout. Dolly Sod's Wilderness. Oh. Got a Yao Guai over there. Man, that did not do a lot of damage. Alright, let's not attract his attention further. One little detail that they had in Fallout 4 that they still have in this that I really appreciate is being able to hear shell casings hit the ground when you fire or reload. No. There's no way that thing's gonna climb up here, right? I mean, it's gonna try. Actually, not very much up here. Wait. Where's the stairs? How did I actually... Okay. There we go. It's like, how did I actually get here? I don't know where that guy ended up. Seems to have just continued running past me. Alright, what do I got for health? I do have a stim pack. I don't know why it didn't show up in the usual spot. That mongrel looks vicious. Well, certainly no shortage of ammo for this hunting rifle. You can hear that they still have the really shitty footsteps where everything sounds like hoofs, even if it's a dog. That way they could just have one sound effect for all the enemies. Or at least all the animal enemies. Disease cure. That sounds good. Ooh, level 20. I mean, I definitely know that this zone is too high level for me to be in, but it's not impossible. Which is nice. I appreciate that you can actually explore places you shouldn't be, instead of just like, nope, everything insta-kills you here. But it's like, no, if you avoid the more dangerous enemies and actually kind of scout ahead a little bit, you can make your way through the worst areas. And I'm already level 9, or almost level 9. Running low on shotgun ammo, though. What was this last dog? I hear it. Can't tell what floor it's on. Why is there a plate in the dryer? I'm gonna guess whatever I'm hearing is... Oh, albino mongrel. That's not good. That is the same level as the boss I fought. Luckily, it doesn't have any way to get up here. Good experience, though. Level 9. Oh, something I can actually unlock. And it's the same trash you'd find in an unlocked one. Almost high enough level to start using better weapons. Cryo cell. I guess the cryo weapons are in this as well. The cryolator. Ranger Trujillo's journal. Someone seems to have cleaned this place out. Come back and read those later. Okay, I don't think there's anything else I can really get to right now. These are all probably locked. Comfy pillow. I wouldn't be surprised if you need a comfy pillow for crafting a certain type of bed. Alright, well, again, I find myself at a point where I kind of just want to keep going and see every location together, but I guess that's not really feasible. Oh, this campground looks pretty minimal because it's only got like 4 enemy markers. But I see a plane on the map up ahead, and there's a pretty cool piece of concept art that shows like a plane hanging from the swampy trees, so that's probably what that is. So maybe we'll go check that out and call the video over there. But yeah, I just kind of find myself wanting to continue traveling location to location, not even acknowledging the fact that there are other players. Parasite. Ooh, Jesus. That's new. It's got so many eyes. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw some of those gulpers around here too, since they are just giant newts. Is it just like dropping eggs? Oh, it is. They're like grenades. Gross frog monster. That's pretty cool. It's got like barnacles or something growing on it. Is it the parasite or oh Jesus? That's not what you want to turn around to. There's no way I'm gonna kill that without cheesing. Oh, well, unless it goes the wrong way. Oh boy, that's even worse. This is not a good place to be. So let's not be here. Oh, I'm just running into the toxic swamp. I mean, I knew that going into this area was going to be an under-leveled bad idea, but I'm glad we actually saw some proof of that. Scary swamp monsters. Ooh, a bunker. An interior area. This is the first time I've seen an area with a loading screen. So these are probably instanced. I wonder if this is like a dungeon. Like, could you come in here with your group and take it on? Well, oop, that's just a rad roach. Thought that was something dangerous. Also not even attacking me. But I'm sure it's going to be like, hey, here's a bunch of rad roaches. It's no big deal. And then something like level 40 is going to show up at the end. And it's like, you made a big mistake coming down here. That's just a regular... God, this pistol is trash. I should have made the revolver now that I have ammo. Caleb's note. Donald, I can't help my family, try to help my neighbors, but somehow it all went wrong. Beth, the kids, I want to yell at Maddie for leaving her toys around to remind Max to poke air holes in his firefly jar. Dead. So basically this guy's all alone in this bunker, so he killed himself? What did I just take damage from? I like stepped over here and I took a little bit of damage. Bobby pins, Med-X, more dirty water. It's nice that there's indoor areas though, and that not everything is just like, here's a ruined house. I mean, if this game does have something like dungeons or raids or whatever, then this is probably what it's going to be, is interior areas. But this just seems like a regular kind of Fallout place. Kind of weird for these really weak rad roaches to be in here after all the shit outside. Now I'm just looking at what gives me health instead of how much hunger it fills out. Well, there. Speaking of fusion cores, there's one right there. Now I have 1 power armor battery. So I guess those are still in here, they're just not everywhere like they were in Fallout 4. And they're probably mostly located in the more dangerous areas like this. Well, I guess more dangerous zones, since this is not a particularly dangerous area. I guess the thing that surprises me most is this does still feel, gameplay-wise, like a Fallout game. Like, I kind of thought it would be a bit more like a ESO Skyrim comparison, where it looks on the surface like you're playing the same game, you know, the same first-person combat and stuff like that, but everything felt worse. And the loot distribution was all messed up, but no, you still find guns lying around, you still find ammo in boxes. That kind of stuff all feels right for a single-player Fallout game, and I'm glad that it's not more fucked up. The economy is the part where you can tell that it's a multiplayer game, though, where everything you have is worth barely anything, and everything you want to buy is a ridiculous amount to keep you grinding. Instead of like, oh, I sold 2 guns and now I can buy all the blueprints this guy's carrying. Alright, so I think we're just about done here. We got to see some new areas, we got to see some new mutants that I hadn't seen yet. But let's go check out this plane. This is just up the hill. But yeah, I think overall I am cautiously excited to play more of this when it comes out. Because I'm sure once you've explored the entire map, explorer type like me would probably find it less interesting, but for the moment, there's a lot of map to explore, and I am down to explore it. I do wish these damn settlement things weren't everywhere. I mean, I guess practically everyone could have one. It's not like you have to PvP to take them away from people. Pretty sure the only reason to want to PvP is so you can just steal the shit they already have there. This plane doesn't actually seem to have... Oh, that's the one from the concept art. This is a different one. In fact, this might just be a wing. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Not really sure how it's crashed like that. You know, like, those vines probably weren't there when it crashed. And these are Chinese. Which means this was probably a Chinese plane that they somehow survived and then turned into these in the same spot. That doesn't really make sense. But I think that's what they're going for here. This is a Chinese bomber that crashed. Yeah, and that's how VATS works, so that's kind of handy. Silo Charlie code piece. Well, I bet that's a plot thing. Enough of those we should be able to get into... Oh. Server not responding. Disconnected from server. Well, it's supposed to run for another half an hour, so I wonder why that was the case. But anyhow, that was where I was going to stop anyway, so good timing. That is the second part of the Fallout 76 beta test, and yeah, I'm enjoying just kind of wandering around, building up my loot collection, leveling up, getting new perk cards. That stuff's cool. And I guess we will dip back more into Appalachia once the game releases on the 16th, but until then, I've been Shadefire, and I hope you'll join me in West Virginia once again. Take care, everyone.